Welcome to Kill Count. Today we're looking at someone who
Love science and innovation.
he wrote a play
He held 355 patents.
and he read his own obituary. This is Alfred
Alfred Nobel.
Nobel. Alfred Nobel was a great inventor,
He had a really smart dad who invented the veneer lathe and worked with explosives.
but Alfred was a sickly kid. He stayed indoors and worked with a tutor for most of his childhood.
He grew up to be a smart man, though, continuing most of his dad's work and invented much more to do with machining and explosives.
His most famous invention was dynamite. It was a more stable explosive that could be used more effectively.
He also made detonators and other accessories for said dynamite.
Nobel died in 1888 in France due to a heart attack, and some newspapers published Alfred Nobel's obituary labeling him as a merchant of death due to his invention and the dramatic implications of it. So we gave him an infamy score of 7 out of 10.
Not good to be known for making money off of war.
But they got it wrong. This was actually Ludwig Nobel, his brother, and Alfred was able to read this obituary and rethink his life.
So, with that rethinking, he didn't quite want to be known as a murderer and someone who makes money off of war. Instead, with the premature obituary in his mind, he was thought to be led down a path of redemption. He, as a longtime science lover, decided to pool his fortunes, which were around $265 million today, towards science
And literature.
and world peace.
So we lowered his infamy score all the way from 7 out of 10 to 0 out of 10 because he was able to reshape his image across the world.
When you think of Alfred Nobel now, you don't think of a war criminal. You think of someone who founded the Nobel Prize.
So personal kills, we also gave him a 0 out of 10.
He was actually known for being a pacifist.
Wow.
He had the ideology of have weapons so big no one wants to fight anymore.
That's an awful ideology.
But it kind of works. Think the Cold War.
That did not work very well. So let's go back to dynamite. There's some pros and cons.
Some of the pros were that made things easier to make, like railroads, and also helped with mining and demolition and construction.
Cons, killing, war, even more killing.
So what can you blow up with dynamite? Let's talk about firecrackers, buildings, even countries.
Fun fact, the Crimean War started when Alfred was around 20 years old.
Him and his dad helped make things like landmines and some of the first sea mines.
So that obviously contributed to some deaths during the Crimean War. However, likely those deaths would have happened either way. His inventions were just the vehicle they used, but if they weren't there, they would have found a different way. So we gave him a 4 out of 10 for political kills. I mean, he was involved in some of it, but likely they would have found a way.
He didn't really lead anything, but he did help a lot. Let's talk more about some of his inventions. He made smokeless gunpowder,
Dynamite,
detonators,
drills for guns,
torpedo parts,
sound recoil inhibitors for guns,
gas meters,
purification of pig iron,
artificial rubber,
substitutes for leather.
and he wrote the play Nemesis, which was mostly destroyed.
So for creativity, we gave him a 10 out of 10. Not only did he have many, many inventions, 355 patents, but he was also a writer.
He also had a high self-agency. We gave him a 9 out of 10. He pretty much did anything he wanted. He was already a multimillionaire. He wasn't even doing things for money anymore, but he did kind of care how people thought of him.
Did he get away with it? Yes, he did. I mean, he completely reshaped his legacy. He's known for the Nobel Peace Prize, and he died as natural causes.
Yeah.
So we gave him an overall kill score of 5.5 out of 10, with an overall kill count of over 5,000 people, depending on how you look at it, his contributions to war. So if you look at the total population of 1.6 million, that barely dents anything. And he's honestly known as a pretty good person now.
So way to go, Alfred. And thank you guys for watching.
Please hit the subscribe button.